into your bypass, so grounded coffee goes into your bypass. If you do lose a spoon, you can use a tablespoon, well rounded, it's about 9 grams as well. You will get a little strip to test the water in your area. So very important, when you receive the machine, you test the water. And basically what this is gonna do is it's gonna trigger basically your descaling cadence that you should be doing. So the way we set it up is we just take the strip out of the thing, put it in the water tank.
Do you want to test ours right now?
Sure.
So, and do you want to test the tap water or do you want to test the water you'll be using?
Always test the water that you're going to be using in the machine.
So if you're filtering your water, it doesn't make sense to test the tap water. Test your filtered water. So just stick it in for a second.
Just a few seconds here.
Pull it out. And then how are we going to be reading this?
So you can see here we have green tabs, and then there's some that are becoming lighter as we're going on. So the water hardness is basically set to 2. So to set the water hardness, we're going to press on the coffee grain. Just keep our fingers on it for a few seconds.
Oh, and then there's 4 lights. That's perfect.
So we see 2 lights here. We're going to adjust it on 2 lights, and to accept,
Press the play button.
as simple as that.
That's so easy. And you do this while the machine is on or off?
Off.
Perfect. So off machine, press and hold the strength button and select your strength. You've got 4 options there, 4 options on your test strip. Super easy. Amazing. Okay, what else comes with this machine?
So what else also comes with the machine is basically a little bit of lubricating oil. So this is food grade grease. Okay? So you cannot just put any type of grease in there. You have to make sure it's food grade.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to use this basically to grease up our brew unit.
Okay, and so how often would you want to be doing that?
Basically, you do it about every month.
Okay.
It's not, it depends also on the cadence of how much you use your machine. The more you use it, you'll do it every month. If you use your machine, like let's say 2 coffees a day, you can go every quarter, so basically every 3 months.
So pretty regular maintenance, but not a weekly or that kind of thing. So, but that's awesome that it comes with that.
Yes.
Let's give people a look into the brew unit as well. So like we said, this is the heart of your machine. It's very easy to access. It's just located on the right-hand side of the machine when you're looking at it. There we go. So you pull out your water tank there. Got a little like trap door. Really easy to remove. There you go.
And this basically is the heart of your machine. So basically what we're looking to grease here is, you see there's a small pin at the bottom. And here, this is where the coffee is basically dropping into the machine.
Yes.
The way you know that it's due to be lubricated, if you put your finger in and you press, it should be hitting the bottom right away. And then there's a little spring action. So if it's shooting down, then it needs to be lubricated.
Okay.
Another good way to know it needs to be lubricated is if you do find residual coffee at the back.
Oh,
this is because basically the floor is a little higher, so when it's putting in the coffee kind of like overflows.
All right, that's really good to know, not only for people that are just maybe picking up this machine, unboxing it for the first time, but people that have had this machine for a little bit. If you notice that this is happening, or maybe you want to go ahead and test your brew unit at home right now, see if it is springing back up, or if you're, then maybe you need to lubricate your machine. All right,
excellent.
And then we stick it right back in just the way it went. Super.
It just does a little click when you go in.
Very
Close
easy.
the door. And then we can just put back the water tank here.
Awesome. Okay, well that was really easy to take out. That seems like very simple and easy maintenance as well. Okay, so that's fantastic. And this machine comes with, so you have the AquaClean filter, which is like a really amazing filter with this machine. I know that this unit comes with one. We have it installed right now. And the claim is that you don't need to descale for up to 5,000 cups, but how does that work? Do you just kind of leave the filter in there, or?
Okay, so basically one of the complaints we were getting is people did not like to descale. You're putting chemicals in the machine and all this. So this basically filters out your water. It does not take out all the minerals and everything, but partially, and then it just gives you a more stable taste to the coffee. So basically we tested the water hardness, okay? So this will make up to 800 cups of coffee on one filter.
That's quite a bit.
So you change 8 filters to arrive at the 5,000 cups of coffee.
Wow.
Now we tested right now our strip and we were at 2. So it might be a little short of 5,000. We might be at about 4,400 cups of coffee because
still a lot of coffee.
It is.
Still a lot of coffee. That's amazing. Okay, so Your filter is good for, you said 800 cups?
Approximately.
Approximately 800 cups.
Yes.
Wow, that's a really long time.
It is.
That's amazing.
It is.
Wow.
People buy these machines, make on average 3-4 coffees a day, and
Yeah.
depends. Also now people working at home, it's more, but
More, of
it'll be
course.
about every like 7 months, 6-7 months.
That is a lot longer of a period to have the filter installed than some other ones. I know for myself, I'm changing my filter usually every like 2 to 3 months, and on top of that, changing my Brita filter every 2 to 3 months. So that is a really powerful filter and really
is.
awesome because people just don't like the maintenance. So that's awesome that this kind of bypasses all of that.
No,
and
exactly.
then you don't have to do the descaling as frequently.
And put chemicals in the machine.
Exactly, yeah. But if you are needing to descale, you do want to use descaler and not vinegar, right?
Never ever use vinegar.
Never vinegar. I think we've said that like 7 times in our recent videos, but never ever use vinegar. Always use a descaling solution. They're usually a lactic acid solution, so it is much better for solenoid valves and other components within your machine.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. And this is relatively inexpensive. I think we sell it for about 10 bucks here.
Exactly.
The Canadian and the filters, we carry them in a single pack. One pack is about $25 Canadian. The double pack is about $45 Canadian. We have them both here. But you'll only be needing to buy this like every 6 to 7 months or so. So that's fantastic.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay. So we have set up the water hardness on this machine. But one of the things that customers often come to us with is, and one of the biggest complaints actually about super automatic machines is that it's not hot enough for them. So is there a way for you to increase the temperature on this machine, or do you have just kind of one temperature?
So basically we have high, medium, and low.
Yeah.
The machine is preset at medium for the North American market,
Yep.
but it is very easy to set it up on high. So what we're going to do is basically take our coffee quantity button, we're going to press and hold on it. Same thing's going to happen a little bit as the water hardness.
Yes, exactly.
You see a little flashing light, and you can see it's at 2. So right now I put it up to 3, it's on hot. So at low temperature, you're about 90 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Medium, you're about 93 degrees, which is the optimal brewing temperature. And then you're going to go a little bit above 95 degrees on high.
So anybody that's looking for that like super hot coffee or espresso is definitely going to want to maybe set it a little bit higher.
Absolutely.
For sure. That's awesome that it gives you that range. It's not as big as like a 10-degree difference, but you wouldn't want that either because it wouldn't be good for your espresso. You would have under-extracted espresso, you would have over-extracted espresso. So staying within that range, you're going to have a good extraction.
Yeah, and you burn your coffee.
Yes,
And then
yes,
if-
you do.
Yeah, and then if you're a little lower, then it just changes the taste
It
a little
does.
bit, and then you get more of the acidy
The
taste.
acidic, the sourness, absolutely. All right, well, we have now set up this machine. Let's power it up. We are going to, this is the first time we're using this unit. We do have a video on the other 3200 that has the Americano button, but this is the first time using the one with the iced coffee button. So let's power up, and if she turns on.
She will.
And then we will, what are the next steps now for setting up this machine?
Okay, so the first thing is basically we have to put fresh coffee beans. What's nice about the coffee bean container is we have a seal around it, so it really keeps the aromatic flavors of the coffee beans. Today I think you've chosen a Colombian espresso bean.
For a
So
change.
we do not want to have a dark roasted bean. We always want to keep a
Yes.
medium espresso type bean in it, not too oily.
And it looks also like the lid here is darker to protect the beans from the UV rays of the sun.
Exactly.
Which is very nice. It helps to keep the beans fresh. It doesn't change their composition at all. So both of those factors on the bean hopper lid will contribute to the freshness of your coffee. If you're buying freshly roasted beans, which is always recommended because why not? You definitely want to have them sitting in a container that keeps them fresh, and having them in a bean hopper like this will assist with that, which is awesome.
Absolutely. You always
I love
want
that.
to have fresh beans.
Yes.
And that's what I noticed here. The first thing I walked into TCS is, wow, the smell of this place. Always
Roaster.
fresh
Yes,
roasted beans.
always roasting coffee, always fresh beans here. So now that our machine is powered up, we need to kind of run through some coffees. We usually tell customers that you want to run through a couple of, like at least 2 before you start drinking them. Is that true with this machine as well?
No, exactly. I like making at least 4 coffees because basically the machine is going to continuously dose itself.
Sure.
Okay, and it can take up to about a dozen coffees before it's properly adjusted.
Sure.
But after about the 4th coffee, you're good to go.
So that's good to know. So if you're grabbing this machine, or you have just recently purchased a machine like this, or this exact model, that your machine is going to continue to calibrate itself for up to a dozen coffees. So after the 4th, like Jacques said, your coffee is going to be drinkable, but you're not going to have that optimal coffee until after about a dozen, which is totally normal. And we always recommend that if you are local to any of our locations that you come in, you try the coffee, because we've definitely done a dozen coffees on these machines before, and it'll be fully calibrated to the dose and to the type of bean, and you'll get the full flavor effect that you will be getting at home after that. So that's really good for customers to know. That was a little bit of news to me and really beneficial, so that's awesome.
Yeah, so basically I'm just going to choose here. I press the button a couple of times, so we're going to do a double espresso.
Awesome.
I'm going to put the grains at maximum so we can just extract. Well, and then we have basically the volume of water. I'm just going to put it at low because we don't need to make that much coffee.
For sure.
And then we're going to press on play.
And now we're brewing just our double espresso.
Yes, it's going to brew. Basically, we're going to grind twice, and then it's going now into the brew unit. Then in the brew unit, it's going to do the tampering action.
Yep.
And then the water's going to come in and extract it.
And so that's grinding twice for 9 grams each,
Yes.
totaling the 18 grams that you would want for a double shot.
No, exactly.
Which is beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah. So now we can see it's very light.
Yeah.
Because, again, the machine's brand new, it's never seen any coffee in it and all this. So we're going to see here it's pouring the first coffee, and then when we come in time for the second coffee, you're going to see that it's going to be a lot darker here.
So don't be alarmed when this is what your first espresso looks like out of this machine when you take it out at home. This is totally normal.
Don't come running back at
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Yeah, it's totally fine. Because when you spend, this around the $1,000 mark for your espresso machine, and if you're not aware that this is how it's supposed to perform when you first open it up, you would probably assume that something might be wrong with the unit. I mean, we do tell customers, if they give us a shout and they're right out of now it's even better. Now there's more grinds in the burrs, in the chute, so we're dosing more now. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we tell customers that your first couple shots are going to be probably not too great, and it's always good to these machines are coming from a manufacturing facility.
Yes.
Want to kind of flush everything out. We always give everything a good rinse and a wash out beforehand, but you aren't getting into the burrs because there's no water that goes down the burrs ever. So this is kind of clearing them out, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I just want you to know this also. I'm going to redo the exact same thing, but it basically kept in memory the last action that I did.
Amazing.
So whenever you're making coffees at home, you set it up the way you want, and then the next time you're ready to go.
Perfect.
So very easy. So we're going to
that's
just
awesome.
basically repeat.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say is the choice of coffee is super important.
It is.
You buy premium coffee, you get a premium taste. You buy low quality coffee.
Yeah. If your coffee's been sitting in your kitchen cupboard for the last 6 months and you decide to put it in this machine and you're not satisfied with the quality of the espresso, it's the beans. It's just the beans. That's all it is, because I can see just from looking out of the spouts here that we have a good crema. Our color was a little bit darker, starting to turn lighter. And at grinding the 18 grams, you're getting a full flavor of espresso. Now, for strength and stuff, we have the strength selection here, but we also have the grind selection. So if somebody was looking to have a stronger espresso, would they want to make their grind size finer?
Yes. Then we have a 12 grinder setting adjustable knob, which is located here at the top. We'll just finish this and then we'll take a look here at the top.
So 12 grind settings that's a good amount of grind settings to have on a super automatic machine. A lot of semi-automatic machines that have a grinder built in are close to that range, usually around the 16 mark. So for a super automatic, that's really fantastic. Let's have a look inside our bean hopper then to have a look at our grinder selection.
Yeah. So here we have our grinder knob. Okay, so right now it's probably set at about half. I like setting it at about 3-4. I don't like necessarily going extremely fine, but it depends really the type of grains you have inside.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we have a pure origin Colombian. 3-4 is good.
Yes.
Okay. But if you had like a very small grain and all that, you'd like to go a lot finer, and
Yep.
it depends also on the taste. Okay,
Yes,
so
for sure.
the finer you are, the more water touches the grain of coffee,
Yep.
so it's going to extract more of the taste of that coffee. So if you find your coffee's too strong or something like that, you can adjust partially on the grinder settings, and then you can adjust here in front on the quantity settings.
So you have quite a bit of play to customize your espresso to your exact flavor for your
Exactly.
exact bean. Between the dosing amount and between selecting the grind size, you can really dial in that espresso for the super automatic.
And then the other thing is after that, so let's say we're gonna make an espresso here. I chose basically full beans,
Yep.
and then it's basically the quantity of our espresso.
Right, the amount of water going through.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if we take it at the low, we're gonna be about 30 milliliters. If you go here, it's the pure 40 milliliters
Yep.
with a 1 ounce shot of espresso. And then here you can make it a little longer if you choose to.
That is fantastic. So adding more water to your espresso will also decrease the strength because you're watering it down a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you're somebody that likes an extra strong coffee or an extra strong espresso flavor, you will, maybe have your grind size at a lower setting, around the 3, maybe 2 mark, or 1. I mean, it's your machine, it's your beans, you do what you want.
Exactly.
As long as you're not using oily beans. Increase, decrease your strength based on what you like. Increase, decrease the size based on what you like. So you have all of these options to fully customize the espresso to exactly how you want it at home, which is so fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Amazing. Okay, we've brewed now 4 espressos. So is the machine now ready to do some?
Pretty ready to go.
And so alternative milks have grown quite a bit in popularity over the past few years, especially with lattes and cappuccinos. So how is this compatible with the alternative milks?
So technically, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we like barista certified milks. So those are the milks that the machine likes.
Yes.
Some of the alternative milks like oat milk and all that, they might have little particles in it. You want to avoid those because they might get stuck in basically the drop inside.
Yeah.
The recommended milk to do a 100% latte macchiato is 2%. All machines, we test them on 2%.
Yeah, and that's true, and we've said this before in our videos, especially when steaming milk, that alternative milks, they just do not foam the same
They will
as
not.
regular cow's milk. The protein content's not there, the sugar content is not there, there's not as much binding within the milks. But yes, those barista quality alternative milks do a much better job than your just average off-the-shelf milk.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's kind of like the coffee. You
Yes.
know, average coffee off the shelf is not going to give you the results of the coffee you find here at ECS Coffee.
Yes, that's very true. It's true. You want good coffee and you want good beans and you want good milk for a good latte.
So let me get your Americano working. So
Please.
we said we're losing the Americano function, but we're not really losing it.
It's just the button that you're losing.
Yeah, so basically I'm just gonna make a 1 shot. I got my coffee grains high. I'm gonna put my water setting at 2, and we'll just go make a shot of coffee. So it's just exactly like we're making an espresso right now.
Amazing. I am in need of some more caffeine. This is a 2 coffee kind of day for me today, so I'm excited for this. Of course, we have my favorite Colombian espresso in here. I use Colombian espresso in basically all of our videos because it is my favorite.
And it smells awesome.
It
really
is.
does.
It is beautiful, beautiful coffee. So I'm excited to watch this coffee pour and to see the beautiful, beautiful crema. I also noticed that this has a fantastic clearance for some of the travel mugs.
Absolutely.
It has quite a high clearance, especially for a super automatic.
High, low, and
Yeah.
as you need it to be.
That's fantastic.
Okay, great. Now we have our espresso beans that went in. We will remove the milk container and just move basically our coffee aside so the hot water dispenses from where the milk was.
Amazing. And how much water does it put out? Is it about 8 ounces?
All depending on the volume.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
so you'll go maybe like 4, 6, and 8.
Right. That's
Depending
true.
on the
Yeah.
volume.
It looks like super steamy hot, which is awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
Good. So you
It-
can potentially make hot chocolate, soups, or whatever you
Yeah.
want with this.
Oh yeah, you can make your ramen with your super automatic espresso machine, not just your coffee.
Here you go.
So this one's definitely the smaller size,
Yes.
which is good for me actually because I do like a stronger flavor. This is gonna be very hot.
It will at the beginning.
Espresso's very soft. It's very, very hot. It's very, very good though. I think we should turn down the grind size.
We could.
Yeah, and on this machine, changing the grind size, should you be doing it while the grinder is running?
Basically what you want to do is just shift it by one position at a time, run a espresso, and then do it again. All depends where you're adjusting. You don't want to go all at once because basically if there's beans that are caught there, you're just going to crush them and it's potentially
Yeah, that's what we tell customers too. We usually tell customers to change the settings while you're grinding.
Yes.
But going one notch at a time, grinding those beans out and then changing again, that's also another great way to do it. And you don't want to just shove it over, especially if you're at grind size like 8 going down to grind size 2.
Exactly.
That's not good. Not good for the burrs, not good for the machine, not good for anything. Okay, fantastic. All right, I want to see this this latte macchiato in action.
Yeah, so very simple. With the Philips lineup of machines, you're basically a barista at the touch of one finger. So basically I'll press on the latte macchiato. I like mine strong. People might like it a little less strong. And
I have less strength when you can have more.
Yes, and then I'll put my milk settings in the middle. And then here, this is the quantity of milk. So quantity of coffee, actually here, I'll put it smaller than.
Nice.
So now what you're gonna see is something a little bit different than the coffee. It's gonna actually pour in the milk first, and then it's gonna pour in the coffee.
Oh, yeah, and for latte macchiato, that makes sense to get that beautiful layering effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why the people love these
Very
machines.
nice.
They love to see that little layering.
And if you want to see the layering, you need to grab some beautiful double wall glass mugs because otherwise it's just going to be coffee and milk, which is still delicious and it's still going to taste the same, but why not have it look pretty as well?
Not as well, yes.
Now I know that you were mentioning how easy this is to clean, and now we'll have the opportunity after doing this to clean the milk system and show people how to do that because it is very easy to do. I have cleaned one of these before. Definitely one of the easier ones to do out of all Super Automatics, which is awesome. And that foam looks gorgeous.
There is a big foam on the machine.
Yeah.
So I didn't fill up the glass, but it all depends. You adjust it basically on your glasses you have at home and all that, and your taste.
Yep, exactly. This looks like a good size. That's the size that I would take as well.
Yes.
Is that this kind of, a little bit smaller. Pouring our gorgeous espresso in. And you can see it coming through right below the foam. Which is just beautiful.
Here you see perfectly the ring where it comes into.
Nice. Really beautiful.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, I'll let you have this one.
Oh.
That is for you, because I have my Americano.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you for this. Let's show the folks as well how to, clean this milk system, because it's the LatteGo system. It's very, very easy to do.
Yeah, so basically it's as simple as taking this out, removing this. Now we need to pour away the milk. So I don't know if we have
I'll grab something.
Container for that.
I have stuff.
Pour the milk completely out, so there's no wasting.
Yeah.
And basically, like I said a while ago, it's as simple as you touch the bottom part and
remove it.
Just throw this in the dishwasher.
Easy. Dishwasher safe.
Dishwasher
That's perfect.
safe.
That's a no-brainer. That's so easy. Yeah. Awesome. And since it doesn't hold a ton, it's not going to get really gross over time.
No, it's just as you go.
As you go, you fill it up. Awesome. So since this machine has an iced coffee feature, we should probably make some iced coffee with it.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so we obviously need some ice.
So we have a
perfect.
glass.
Love that.
So again, you can lift this up so it has the maximum height and all this.
Yeah.
So also want to explain to you why we have an ice function and why not just pour a coffee out of it or an espresso. So basically we're lowering the temperature for about 20 degrees.
Wow.
And we're slowing down the flow rate. So basically we're going to extract more slowly the coffee.
So you're getting still your even extraction. It's not going to taste sour, but it's also not going to completely melt the ice or taste crazy diluted when you pour it over ice.
Exactly. So this one here, I like basically medium taste.
Sure.
And then as for the glass, basically let's just put a basic function, and then we'll see here. It's not going to fill up exactly the glass, but basically just for the purposes of showing the feature.
And then you can always add your own milk, or you can add your own water to do iced Americano or iced latte, which is perfect, and then you still retain that awesome espresso flavor.
Exactly.
Love that. So you can hear it. It's making a different noise than it normally does when it's brewing espresso. It looks a lot stronger.
Yeah.
The color is a little bit darker, and it's not nearly as hot.
Not exactly. And the flow rate, you can see
Yeah,
it's a lot slower.
it is. The coloring on this looks awesome too. It looks very, very creamy.
Yes.
Very nice. Amazing.
So here, this is basically the first level, like
Yeah.
we can put more of it, but basically it gives you the option to put whatever extra flavors you want into the coffee and all this.
So you could add
Shake
your
it up.
own, like your vanilla or your caramel to make like a flavored iced coffee as well.
Exactly.
So that you don't use flavored beans in your machine.
Here,
Oh
have
my
a try.
Okay,
Summer's
it's,
here.
First of all, it smells amazing. The notes are definitely intact. That's phenomenal.
Iced coffee at home.
Yeah. And when I do like iced Americano at home, it definitely is diluted because it's still pouring. Like I have a semi-automatic espresso machine, and so it's definitely diluting the
A lot more than this one.
yeah.
Yeah, this is basically we're extracting 100% from the coffee grains.
Yeah, so this is smooth, rounded, very soft on the tongue, which is very, very good. But you're not losing any of the flavors of the coffee.
Not exactly.
It's really great. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be buzzing for like the next hour because of all this caffeine, but that is delicious. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to touch on with this machine? I love the iced coffee function. Stay tuned because we are going to be doing some videos with the iced coffee option on this machine. Some beautiful, beautiful coffee and different kind of beverage options. So you'll want to stay tuned for those. Those will be launching shortly.
So I'm just going to bring your attention to 3 potential lights.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you run out of water, you're going to get a basically a light here where it says there's no more water. If our basically where our coffee pucks go in,
Yeah.
if that's full, it's going to be here. So the machine calculates every 15 pucks, basically it fills in the container.
That's a good amount of coffees that it holds in there.
It is.
Yeah.
But I just need to also do a caution. Okay, so if the machine is completely turned off and you open it up and you clean the pucks and then you put it back in, the very next day it could give you a message, and it's
Sure.
not true because the machine needs to be on and have that physical action where you are opening the front end and basically emptying out your grinder container. So
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
your grinder containers are nice. They're not nice solid pucks right now. They will become solid after about 12 coffees when the machine is fully adjusted.
Right.
And then there's also a little bit of residual water that we'll find in the pan, and that's just basically the pressure that's released inside the pan. So again,
Yeah.
you know, we have 15 bars of pressure, so
It's totally normal for your drip tray to collect water with use. And you can obviously, if you want to wait the 15 or wait until it notifies you to empty the drip tray, you can. I also recommend just at the end of the night, just empty it, give it a wash, and
but do it when the machine's open.
yeah, when it's on,
Yes.
when it's on. But yeah, just so that it's not sitting in there overnight. It's just better be safe than sorry, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. And then what's this last one down here?
So the last one is, let's say there is an error message. So let's say either your water's not priming or
Okay.
there's something goes wrong with the grinder. So it's just kind of like it'll just flash, and then at that point you should call our customer service line, and then
Yeah.
they will advise you of some actions to try on the machine.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then they'll refer you to a service center to get it repaired.
Fantastic. And this machine has how long of a warranty with Philips?
2 years warranty.
2-year warranty with Philips, which is fantastic. And then
Don't
you
forget, register
register
your
it.
product. You get an extra 4 years on the
for the brew unit.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I love that. That was kind of a new thing. I hadn't heard that before, so that's fantastic. All right. I mean, I'm super excited to continue using this machine. I love the iced coffee function. I want to thank you so much, Jacques, for coming and delving into the ins and outs of this super automatic machine from Philips, the 3200 LatteGo and iced coffee. It is an awesome, awesome unit. If you guys want to see it in person, you can come on down to our Burlington location, try a drink on it, play around with it. We have it up in action. You know, we're always here for you if you're local. We recommend that you come by if you can. And make sure you follow us on all of our social media channels, you know, and check out our blog. We've got a ton of coffee content on there. And thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. And and subscribe. Subscribe to our channel if you like our content, and make sure to give us a thumbs up, and you'll be seeing Jock in a few more videos. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.